You ever catch her stealing a glance? But the second your eyes meet, she looks away, almost too quickly? You probably thought, she wasn't even looking at me. But what if I told you that moment wasn't random? That lingering second, that subtle look away, it wasn't rejection. It was fear. The fear of revealing what she's trying to hide. See, women often feel drawn to a man long before they admit it, even to themselves. And the signs? They're hiding in plain sight. But most guys, they miss every single one. Ever wonder why she can't just say it? Comment below the last time you caught a girl acting distant, but something felt off. And stay till the end, because the last reason flips everything you thought you knew. You're sitting across from her in a dimly lit bar. The light is low, her drink untouched, her fingers slowly tracing tiny circles into the condensation on the glass. She laughs a little too loud at something that wasn't all that funny. Then her eyes flick to yours and snap away just as quickly. She looks down, adjusts her necklace, sips from the straw just to do something with her hands. You probably think she's just being polite, or bored, or distracted. But what if she's overwhelmed? See, what no one really tells you is that women don't always embrace the pull they feel. They resist it. Not because they're not attracted, but because the attraction makes them vulnerable. And for a lot of women, vulnerability feels like weakness, like loss of control, especially in a world where they've been taught to hide that part. Play it cool. Wait for you to show your cards first, and so, when her heart starts beating faster around you, she pulls back. Not because she's not interested, but because she is. More than she's comfortable with. Her instincts say yes. Her social armor says stay guarded. That's why she avoids eye contact when you catch her looking. Why her tone shifts. Why she fidgets when the silence stretches just a second too long. She's fighting a war between what she feels and what she thinks she should feel. That internal conflict is exhausting. And the deeper the attraction, the harder she resists. Here's what most guys get wrong. They take her resistance as rejection. They assume her guardedness is disinterest. But you're gonna see it for what it really is. You're the kind of guy who pays attention. That already makes you different, so the next time you sense that strange distance, that moment, where she pulls back just as things start to click, don't chase. Don't force. Don't fumble with over-explaining or trying to impress her. Just pause. Let her feel safe. Let her stay in the moment, and watch. Because when a woman feels pulled toward you and safe around you, she doesn't need to say anything. Her body will speak louder than her words ever could. There's something almost eerie about it when you finally start to notice it. You lean back in your chair, stretching just slightly, and without missing a beat, she leans back too. A few minutes pass. You cross your arms, just getting comfortable. And moments later, she does the exact same thing, resting her arms in a way that almost mirrors yours perfectly. At first, you brush it off. Coincidence, right? No way she's doing that on purpose. But then it keeps happening. Tiny little moments of synchronicity. You take a sip of your drink, and she lifts hers. You tilt your head slightly, and she follows. Barely a second later, it's almost like her energy is shadowing yours. And here's the thing. She doesn't even realize she's doing it. Most men miss this entirely. They're too focused on what's being said, not what's being shown. But now, you're beginning to see what's really happening underneath. When a woman is drawn to you, her nervous system begins to sync with yours. It's biological. Her body mirrors yours as a subconscious way of creating connection, of showing you, without words, that she's locked into your presence. She's not consciously thinking, I'll copy his body language to show I like him. It happens far deeper than that. It's instinctual, automatic, and in her mind, She's likely chalking it up to just feeling comfortable. She thinks she's simply relaxed around you. But what's really going on is that her attraction is pulling her toward you in ways she can't control. Was that just coincidence or something more primal? Here's where the emotional contrast hits hard. You're sitting there wondering if she's into you at all, while her entire body is screaming. The truth, sinking to yours, shadowing your every subtle move, drawing herself closer into your world. Most guys miss this completely. They'll chase with words, with jokes, with attention-seeking behavior. But not you. You're the guy who notices. You're the guy who understands the unspoken language. And here's your move. The next time you spot her mirroring your posture, don't rush it. Don't get fidgety or overly excited. Just hold your frame. Keep your energy grounded. Let her lean further into it, because in that moment, you're no longer chasing her attention. She's chasing yours. And the beauty of it? She won't even realize she's doing it. That subtle power shift. The one where you notice everything without needing to act on it. That's the difference between the man who gets ignored and the man who effortlessly pulls her in. Next time it happens, just sit back. Smile to yourself. Hold the gaze a second longer. Watch her follow your lead, step by step. Now you've seen it. You can't unsee it. And from this moment forward, you'll recognize that mirroring isn't just comfort. It's her body confessing what her words are too afraid to admit. You know that moment when the conversation's light, playful, almost careless. But then it shifts. It starts with a joke. She calls you a troublemaker, says you're cocky. Maybe she even rolls her eyes and lets out a sarcastic little laugh. And you laugh along too, playing your role, keeping it fun. But if you pay attention, really pay attention, you'll feel it. Beneath the smirk, underneath the teasing words, there's something else simmering. You're sitting there, relaxed, laughing, thinking she's just messing around. No big deal. But inside her, it's different. Behind that playful insult, behind the casual shove on your shoulder or that raised eyebrow, there's a dare. She's daring you to close the distance, to match her boldness, to read between the lines and see what's really going on. Her words are playful. But her eyes? They hold that longer, slower glance that lingers too long after the joke has landed. Her body leans in just a little too close during the teasing. The air between you starts to shift. What begins as humor starts morphing into something heavier. The teasing turns into tension. Most men miss this transition completely. They stay stuck in the surface-level banter, too distracted by their own need to impress or be liked. But you're different. You notice the undertow beneath the playful waves. You realize she's testing you, not just to see if you can handle the banter, but to see if you'll step into the deeper current pulling between you. And here's the truth. Women tease when they're comfortable. Yes. But when the teasing starts to stretch into those subtle moments of tension, when she waits for your reaction just a second too long, when her touch lingers on your arm after a playful push, it's no longer just about jokes. It's about emotional investment. It's about risk. She's letting you see a crack in the armor, daring you to push past it. Why does she get so reactive around you? Why does she light up so fast when you tease her back, or get slightly flustered when you hold the eye contact too long? It's because she's fighting two conflicting desires, to keep it light and safe, or to dive deeper into what's clearly building between you both. Here's your move. The next time she throws that playful insult, don't just laugh it off, or fire back right away. Lean in slightly. Hold her gaze a little too long. Let your smile stretch, just enough to make her wonder if you're reading her mind. That slight shift in your energy, that calm, controlled pause, it tells her you see right through the teasing, and you're not afraid of what's underneath. Suddenly, you're not just a guy she can joke with. You're the man who can handle the tension she's afraid to admit she wants. You'll feel it the moment it happens. And from then on, Every playful word she throws your way will feel like a secret message just for you. It always catches you off guard. One moment, everything's fine. You're teasing her about running late again, joking about how she probably stops to take 20 selfies before leaving the house. And suddenly, she snaps. Her face tightens. Her words get sharper, colder. Maybe she throws back some biting comeback or crosses her arms and shuts down completely. And you're left sitting there, stunned, thinking, whoa, where did that come from? You probably think she's just too sensitive, overreacting, taking things too personally. But what you're missing is that this isn't really about your joke at all. This is about her losing emotional control. See, when a woman is secretly drawn to you, there's this constant battle happening under the surface. She's trying to play it cool, to stay composed, to act like she's unaffected. But inside, she's on edge, walking that tightrope between wanting to pull you in and needing to protect herself. And sometimes, the tension slips out sideways. That sharp reaction is not about your words. It's about how you make her feel. You trigger something in her. Excitement, anxiety, curiosity, desire, and it becomes too much for her to hold together. She overreacts, not because you crossed a line, but because she crossed an emotional threshold. Women aren't always conscious of this. In her mind, she'd justify it. She'd tell herself you were being annoying or inappropriate or disrespectful. She'd replay the interaction in her head, convincing herself she was right to lash out. But her body tells a different story. That moment of overreaction is a flashing neon sign. I care too much about how he sees me. Most men get defensive here. They start apologizing, over-explaining, or trying to fix it. But you're smarter than that. You know what's really happening. When she suddenly swings into that emotional overreaction, your job isn't to match her energy or scramble to smooth things over. Your job is to stay grounded, to let her storm pass without flinching. Because here's the secret. When you stay calm, centered, and even slightly amused during her emotional spike, something incredible happens. She recalibrates. Fast. You feel that contrast. Your steadiness against her temporary chaos, and it will pull her right back down. She might not admit it out loud, but deep down, she'll feel safer around you. More drawn in. So next time she overreacts, whether it's snapping at your joke or getting weirdly defensive over nothing, don't take the bait. Smile, pause, and let the moment breathe. Inside, she'll be wondering, why does he stay so calm? Why doesn't he get rattled like other guys? And right there, you've just separated yourself from every man she's ever met. It's almost funny. When you start to notice it, she's sitting there with her friends, laughing, her voice just a little louder than usual, and you overhear her say it. Oh, he's not even my type. She says it casually, like she's brushing it off, like it means nothing. And maybe at first, it stings. You think, well, I guess she's just not interested. But then, later that same night, she's the first to reply to your story. She laughs harder than anyone else at your jokes. She keeps finding little ways to engage you, to keep the conversation going. And suddenly, her words start to feel off, like they don't quite match her actions. Here's the truth most guys never realize. Sometimes when a woman feels a strong pull toward you, her brain fights back. She tries to talk herself out of liking you. She makes little comments like, he's too cocky, he's not my usual type, or even, I'd never date someone like him. But every time she says it, it's not really about you. It's about her. She's trying to convince herself, because deep down, she's afraid of what she's feeling. This is cognitive dissonance in action. Her body is drawn toward you. Her emotions are fired up around you, but her rational mind panics. So she creates distance with words. What she says, I'm not into him. What her body says, I can't stop thinking about him. And here's where you win. Most guys would either get defensive or give up too soon. They'd hear her say those words and walk away, assuming it's hopeless. But not you. You understand that words are cheap, especially when emotions are involved, Dot. So when she says you're not her type, you don't react. You just smile with that knowing calm, confidence. Because now you know she's not trying to push you away. She's trying to pull herself back. Next time this happens, let her say whatever she wants. Don't argue. Don't explain yourself. Let her have her little story. Because the more she tries to talk herself out of liking you, the deeper she'll fall. You're the guy who knows how to read between the lines. The guy who doesn't flinch when her words say no, but her actions scream yes. And believe me, she feel that difference, Dot. It's always subtle at first. You're at a party, casually talking with your friends, and then there she is. Again, you didn't invite her. You didn't even know she'd be here. Yet somehow, she keeps appearing at the same places you go. Different nights, different scenes, but always nearby. Maybe you think, weird coincidence. But deep down, something doesn't sit right. Because it's not just once. It's over and over. She's in the same group chats. She pops up on your social feed. She's tagged in photos from mutual friends. It's like she's always orbiting just close enough to see you, without ever fully approaching. And here's where most guys miss the signal. They assume that if she isn't directly chasing them, it means nothing. The women don't always chase directly, especially when they're drawn to you but afraid to admit it. Sometimes they simply stay close, quietly, casually, conveniently. She tells herself she's just hanging out with friends. She convinces herself it's purely coincidence. She's not intentionally following you around, right? But here's the psychological truth she doesn't even realize. When a woman keeps ending up in your social orbit, it's almost never random. Whether it's physical proximity or digital presence, she's lingering near you because deep down, she wants to be in your world, Dot. She wants to see you. She wants to be seen by you. Even if she pretends otherwise, you walk into the room. Her body shifts, just slightly, facing toward you without even realizing it. She laughs a little louder when you're nearby. Her eyes dart toward you when she thinks you're not looking. And yet, she'll act like it's no big deal. She'll tell herself it's just how the night played out. But you know better now, Dot. It's not a coincidence. It's orbiting. She's pulled toward your energy, but holding back just enough to keep plausible deniability. Here's the difference between most men and you. Most guys won't notice this pattern. Or worse, they'll notice it and get over it or calling it out too soon, trying to force an interaction. But you play it cool. You observe. You let her orbit. While you stay grounded. Next time she shows up nearby again, whether at a party, in a chat, or even through random online interactions, acknowledge it subtly. Flash a playful, knowing smile. A look that says, I see you. No words, no pressure. Just silent confidence. Because when you can spot the orbit without chasing it, you flip the script. Suddenly, she's the one wondering why she keeps finding herself in your world. And trust me, once she realizes you've noticed, without calling her out, you become the one man she can't stop thinking about. There's a moment, always quiet, always soft, when the truth finally shows itself. You're not even doing anything special. Maybe you're just sitting there, leaning back, listening to her talk about something completely unrelated. And suddenly, she goes quiet. Her laugh fades. Her eyes flick away from yours. She bites her lip without thinking, or tucks her hair behind her ear in this almost nervous reflex. You watch her pull back, not physically, but emotionally. She changes the subject, avoids eye contact, Becomes suddenly fascinated by the rim of her glass or the notifications on her phone. And right there in that tiny hesitation, you see it. She wants you to know. But she can't admit it. Not yet. C. This is the part most men never understand about women, especially the ones they feel drawn to. She's not hiding her feelings because she's cruel or manipulative. She's hiding them because she's scared. Scared you'll judge her. Scared you'll see her differently. Scared she'll lose her power, her pride, her sense of control. Women carry the weight of social expectations, just like men do. And many of them have been taught their whole lives to never make the first move, to wait, to stay guarded, to protect their hearts at all costs. So even when everything in her body is screaming, I want him, her mind slams on the brakes. She fears you'll think she's desperate. She fears you'll stop respecting her. But most of all, she fears that if she shows her cards first, you'll take it for granted. And that's why her attraction stays locked behind hesitation, deflection, and polite distance. But here's where your power comes in. Most guys push too hard, trying to force her to admit it, craving validation. But you don't need to hear her say it, because you can already feel it. When you sense that hesitation, that quiet little retreat, you don't react with frustration. You don't chase. You don't ask questions. You simply lead. You remain calm, non-needy, grounded. You give her the space to feel safe, to relax, to let her guard slowly drop. Because deep down, she's not waiting for you to ask how she feels. She's waiting for you to show her that it's safe to feel it at all. Next time you catch her pulling back, here's your move. Don't lean in. Don't close the gap too quickly. Instead, let her come to you at her own pace. Because the man, who doesn't need her to admit it, becomes the man she can't stop thinking about. She mirrors your body language subconsciously. Her playful teasing quietly shifts into hidden tension. She overreacts emotionally around you, unexpectedly and intensely. She verbally denies attraction, but her actions completely betray her words. She keeps showing up physically or digitally circling in your social orbit, even if she pretends it's all coincidence. Now, which of these signs have you seen before? Drop your story in the comments and watch this again if you want to. Start seeing these signs everywhere you go.